Praises, honor, and glory unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations unto the elect of Yasharahla, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, as well as the Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and prophesying through the spirit of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, in truth and sincerity, and the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations but are of the nation of Israel and their father's side by blood. All right. So this is a quote from Thomas Jefferson. All right. Former president, of the United States, former slave owner within the United States, former native killer, however you want to put it, but this is a quote that he said, because me and the brothers was talking earlier and this quote came up. It was like, Esau be knowing. All right. But he said, indeed, I tremble for my country when reflect that the Most High is just. Meaning what? You reap what you sow, right? Matter of fact, I got a couple precepts, but I gotta get that one. I ain't got that in so long, man. This is Revelations 13:9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And who are the saints? The Israelites. All right. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And who are the people that they enslaved? And sent over to this country and that country through the transatlantic slave trade. Put yokes of iron on. All right. Slaughtered villages. So on and so forth. So that's why he's saying he feared for his country if when you reflect in the sense of the Most High being just, because he's fair. He's gonna uphold justice. Look up the etymology of just. You got what? Morally upright, righteous in the Most High's eyes. So if he's just, he's already right in his own eyes, because he don't make the wrong judgments. All right. It said men count slackness, not the Most High. He judge who he judge when he judge him. All right. It says equitable, fair, impartial in one's dealings. He give everybody what they deserve. All right, because he also show mercy unto whom he showed mercy, and compassion unto whom he showed compassion. He chose the Israelites. He chose us to be his people. He put by the rest of the heathen nations. All right, that's not on us. He chose us. All right, this shit, all these little stupid ass pop-ups, man. It's all good. All right. What else we got? It says fitting, proper, conforming to standards or rules. Yep. He's a power that changed not. Just, righteous, sincere, equitable, upright, righteous, right-minded, good in intentions. So on and so forth. So he's a righteous judge, man. Okay? He's a righteous judge. So when he's talking about and reflecting the Most High being just, he that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. You should get what you did unto others, man. All right, it says that his justice cannot sleep forever, right? Because why? Here we go. It says Isaiah 47:4. It says, as for our Redeemer. Okay, just quick look, generic definition. If it comes up. Technology works when they want to. It says a person who redeems someone or something, often the Redeemer, HaMashiach. All right. It says YAHAWASHI, the host is his name. All right, predominantly speaking about the Father, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. And speaking about America. All right, the Chaldees was the capital of Babylon. Okay, and here you have it as to where the Lady of Kingdoms, because it's that whore that sitteth upon a dragon. All right, let me double check. I believe the Chaldees was. Let's see. Yep. Oh, it's a lot. Okay, Babylon was the capital of the Chaldean uh, Neo-Babylonian Empire. During the 7th and 6th century. Salakia, they was the people. All right. Um, so it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke, and that's what it was. They didn't care, old, young. They'd grape your wife. They'd cut your foot off. You try to escape. They'd sell your daughter to this plantation, your son to another plantation, miles and miles away. All right, beat you. All right, feed you to have the dogs biting all on you. Like they treated us just like the devil would treat you. you know, and that's why they want to erase. They want to erase that history, man. But it's there. It's embedded in minds and souls and spirits, man. All right. It says, "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it." Right? Because what's the latter end of it? That they're going to receive judgment. All right. The latter end is that the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. You know, the Lord is allowing them to um, build their new world order, to get it all together, but they're not gonna uh, they're not going to bathe in it, is the word I want to use. All right, they'll be able to they'll be able to stick their foot in and see how cold the water is and sit on the edge, but it ain't no floaties gonna be used. Ain't no full body floaties I'm talking about too. With the cup holder. All right, where they just relaxing in a blow up floaty and just got the cup, the little iced tea in the cup holder, and they just in the water chilling. Kids jumping off the diving board, and nah, ain't gonna be none of that. You're just gonna get a little taste of that bullshit that you putting together, right? It says, therefore, hear now this: thou art that Salaki, thou that art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am. Call YAHAWASHI, because I was looking for this and I couldn't even find it earlier. I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Right? And that's exactly how they feel. America feel like it'll never be touched, you know? And that's why you have a lot of people in these present day starting to reconsider that. At a point in time, Americans can brag about not, they could brag about foreign countries coming over here and boots on the ground. No, not no more though, because people are starting to see what this world is coming to. They're starting to see prophecy. They're starting to see what right here, that considering numbers, nature, and natural means only, a revolution of the wheel of fortune An exchange of situation, right? An exchange of situation. Okay, because you have what? Let's get Psalms 50 and look at 19. It says thou, man, let's see. Let's get let's get 17. It says let's get 16. It says, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Because a lot of that was built on Christianity. You know, they were used to read us the Bible. You know, we knew how to read the Bible. We know how to read. We get a consequence. We know how to read the Bible. Oh man. All right. But the Lord's like, why you even got my book? Why you trying to act like you the people? You the holy people? Why are you claiming the name? You know, you ain't got nothing to do with that book. All right, except the judgment that's written in there. You got a book. You got a chapter. You got a whole chapter about you, Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. You can read that. Oh, y'all should read that every day. It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. Yeah, even from the jump. When you go and read about Jacob and Esau, all right, he went and married the Hamites after his parents was like, nah, don't do that. You know, he looking to slay Jacob, crying about his blessing after, he didn't gave it away. Okay. He don't he he don't be caring what the heavenly, hey, the scriptures say the Most High is not at all in his thoughts, right? It says, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consented with him and has been partaker with adulterers. So instead of bringing about just judgment, you wrest judgment. You twist it and turn it and make good evil and evil good. And instead of judging the thief, well, okay, you can work for me, and that's why nothing is real in this place. It says, thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit. You break covenants, you lie, you say and do what you got to do to get what you want, man. You blaspheme the Most High. All right, say he's white with long hair and blue eyes. Touch the apple of his eye. That's part of it too, man. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. Those niggas ain't this and niggas that and spicks this and savages and you know they on welfare and they good for nothing and clutch your purse when you're around them and statistic this and statistic that and then shut up, you know just shut up because all of that's getting exposed. You try to make us seem like we more the criminals, but the numbers say that y'all the more criminals. Now, don't get me wrong. We the most imprisoned, but that's because we got to do what? Go through your justice system. You know? It says, seest thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind it. You don't uphold what is thou to declare my statutes. You don't uphold the Bible in the courts. You know? I can be married to a woman and she commit adultery, and if I divorce her for that, you'll reward her. I gotta pay alimony and child support and whatever the case. All right, for her committing an act against the scriptures. Woe to them that call good evil and evil good. It says right here, this is what I wanted to get. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, because that's what it is, like he said. There were going to be a revolution of Wheel of Fortune in exchange of a situation. All right, is among possible events, which at the end of the day is the judgment and just as due unto them. All right. It says, These things hast thou done and I kept silence, because the Lord, like I said, He allowed them to get this far. He allowed them to take us, uh, uh, you know, break the yoke from off their neck and put a yoke on ours. He allowed Satan to be loose and deceive the world for 1,000 years, which we're in that time, man. All right. It says that thou thought that Salaki, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And that is what he is doing. Right? Here we go, where it says that a revolution of wheel of fortune and exchange of situation is among possible events that it may become probable by supernatural interference. Because we was literally on the bottom, down and out, you know, being treated and still being treated like nothing. All right, but through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, there's a good handful of people who know the truth, understand the truth, and teaching the truth and believe in the truth. You know, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to prevail. Not all of the lies. That's why the truth came when it came. You know, it was that time for it to come, man. And ever since then, time has been speeding up and the days been getting shorter and prophecy been coming to pass day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, and second by second. And now we get to the point where it's just increasing and increasing and increasing. All right, it says, now consider this, ye that forget the Most High, lest I tear you in pieces and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me. And to him that ordaineth his conversation aright, your behavior, will I show the salvation of the Most High. So that goes into us, man. You know, we praise and glorify the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and his ways and his prophecies. Only the Israelites are only the Israelites are looking forward to the true worshipers. The true worshipers. Alright, the Israelites that are true worshipers are looking for the will of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai to come about. Okay, which is judgment on this place. We ready to get out of these bodies, get new bodies, ready for rest, you know. But we know that we ain't no peace without war, man. All right. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Um, you know, it's gonna be one of my nice little quotes. I'm gonna, be saying, because that's exactly what's going on now. You know, Thomas Jefferson was a prophet, yeah. But that's what it is at the end of the day, man. The Lord is stepping in and he's intervening. All right. And he's causing a beautiful turn of events. He got the angels playing on the kings of the earth mind to get this war tension going, because that's what's gonna be headed next, you know. Turmoil of the people and uprising of the people, and then the war coming about, and the chip coming about, pestilence coming about. Prophecy. Hey, we here, baby. We here. So with that, Lord willing, you're edified. And once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.